Hey guys, it's Loren LoRosa again, here as always for 2L Television. But I've been inside watching the news all day long and just reading and just being overwhelmed even by social media about everything that has went down in Charleston last night. The shooting inside of the AME church where 9 lives were taken, including the pastor of the church. I think a lot of times when you are young, and I'm only 23 years old, we feel like there's nothing that we can do, or what's the point? This isn't our fight, even though it's happening to our people. But I just feel differently. I feel like 2L TV is the platform where you guys have been watching me grow and hearing me speak about so many different things. So it's only right that I bring my feelings about this issue to you guys. I just don't understand how or why anyone could knowingly take the life of another person. This 21 years old, like, he is our age. I say our because majority of my fan base or the people who watch my YouTube videos are 23 years old or younger. He was our age. He was 21 years old, and he walked into a church service, joined in on the church service for 45 minutes to an hour, and once the church service came to close, he let gunfire go. The first thing that they asked was, is he mentally sick? Any person who sits and commits a crime, even if it's just one person, if you can sit and kill one person, cold-blooded murder, there's something mentally wrong with you. He wasn't labeled a thug. When it's a black person on black person or black person on white person, they get labeled as are thugs, even if they're the victims of crimes. Like, we have Mike Brown dating all the way back to that. Like, he was portrayed as a thug in the media, and his life was taken. I just think that it's like, you get at a loss for words and stuff like this happen. This is still affecting me because I'm an African American. I'm a minority. In everything I do, I am that standout. So whether I'm the only black person in a room full of people, or I'm the only African American female in a room full of people, it's like, is it okay to be that standout now? Like, are people about to start carrying guns to church? Like, what is about to happen next? They had Dr. Martin Luther King's speech playing on the radio, and this was the speech that he did when the 4 young girls were killed in the bombing of the Birmingham Baptist Church. And I listened to this speech, and I just started to think about, like, those people who were in that church. It's so crazy how God knows everything, and God is so distinct in his plan. And those people who were in that church, their lives are going to now change history for so many other people to come. And they had no idea walking into that church service that the impact that their lives were about to take for a whole nation. This is a day in history now. Like, there's so much that is going to change because of this. And it's sad that it takes for us to lose 9 people. It's sad that it takes for Obama to have to keep saying, this is my 14th time speaking about this. Like, people need to change the way they think about gun laws. It should be harder to get a gun. This young guy, this 21-year-old guy who killed these 9 people in the church yesterday, got his gun for his 21st birthday. So now for it to be taken out of context where it's just like, oh, well, yeah, so maybe he had a mental illness. Did you guys care about that mental illness when you granted access for him to walk in and purchase that gun with his father for his 21st birthday? It's really crazy to know that I'm 23 years old and I'm witnessing history. So I just wanted to share my take on it with you guys. And I have Dominique Sharpton, who will be tuning in with us and kind of weighing in on this topic. She helps head up the National Action Network. She is the daughter of Reverend Al Sharpton. And we're going to hear some amazing words from her. And just starting out, Dominique, I just want to know, what was the first feeling that you felt when you heard news of everything that happened at the AME Church in Charleston this morning?
When I first got the call, my dad first called me, I was immediately stunned. In my lifetime, I've seen a lot of tragedy and a lot of killings and a lot of things that take place, but for me, this really startled me. I was shocked. I honestly didn't even believe it. I had to turn on the news and turn on my phone and actually start looking at blogs and looking at what what the news was reporting, and honestly believe it at first. When I started seeing that it was actually real, the feeling of this numbness, the feeling of disappointment, they become so helpful, because when is this going to stop, and what am I doing wrong, or what am I not doing enough of? It just ignites me to just want to do more. I feel like we're not confronting our youth enough. This guy, this suspect in custody is in his early 20s, you know? It's like, what has he been exposed to at such a young age with just hatred to want to actually pick up a gun and actually do something like he did? So we've got to really start confronting the mentality of our youth and the mentality of what we are portraying and what we are doing on the ground, especially in the community, what we are doing in our own neighborhood to actually deal with these issues of mental illness, these issues of hatred and anger. Our young people feel, you know, that they have to now lash out in violent ways in order to be seen and be heard. And I think that is a serious issue that we have to really, really deal with, especially in this country now.
And when you talk about the young people that you are working with, how many of these young people, because of what they're being exposed to and the things that they're seeing and the history that they're witnessing, kind of feel like, you know, the fight is over. I'm black. I'm a minority. I've already lost.
Well, the fight is far from over. I just feel like we need to change the mindset. We need to change the helpless mindset, even that I had, like when I first started to do this. We've got to counter that with love. We've got to counter that with enabling and restoring faith and restoring hope in our communities, especially in the minds of our youth.
Yeah.
And what is it going to take? No, we can't promise that tomorrow a police officer won't shoot another black person in the back. We can't promise that, unfortunately, another person full of hatred will go into a church and kill 9 people. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we can conquer today. We can, do what we can in our communities to restore that faith, to restore hope, to enlighten and encourage young people that, that they matter, that all lives matter.
Your family, and I know that you've just recently gotten to the area where everything took place. Can you describe, what is the feeling there? I mean, even probably the airport is a little bit crazy. I know that you just recently got there.
I'm not happy having to come here. I'm not, like I said, I feel hopeless. I'm scared, as a young woman of color who is, with a strong voice. I'm scared. I don't know what to expect going into this. I don't know how many more people feel the way this young man felt. Warming, people are everywhere. I have friends that live in Charleston that call me, that I spoke to today, that are just like, I'm just done. I'm fed up. I never thought that it would be right outside my door. We've got to come together now, and we've got to be peaceful, and we've got to counter anger and hatred with love and respect for each other.
The younger generation, I'm 23 years old. The guy who committed the murders in the church was only 21 years old. So this is now a millennial issue. What is it that you think that young people can do? I advise people to use social media, voice your opinion there, even if it's just an opinion, it matters. What do you, as someone who comes from the Sharpton family, who's been very influential in helping voices be heard, advise us young people to do to kind of take a stand if we maybe can't be there, or if we want to be there but we feel like our voices aren't important?
I just feel like we should, everyone is created for a certain purpose. So I feel like right now all we can do is tap into what will make us better people, what we can do to fulfill our purpose at the end of the day. What is Dominique created to do, and actually get up every day, because you don't know if it's going to be our last.
Amen.
We're living in that type of era.
That's true.
Where, anything can, labels pop off at any given time.
Yeah.
So we got to understand and wake up and say, if today is my last day, have I fulfilled and have I done all that I could?
Those people who walked into that church in the beginning of that service did not know that that would be the last day that they lived, and they did not know that their death would change so much in our American history, so much for young African Americans to come, older African Americans. They did not know that their life meant so much when it comes to the change that is going to happen in our nation because of what took place last night. So definitely what you're saying is right.
Those poor little girls over 50 years ago,
the Birmingham, yes.
That church was bombed in Alabama. And those little girls had no idea that they would be martyred movement. It's just like those blind people last night. They had no idea. And so we've got to take, our anger, we've got to take the passion, we've got to take the rage in us, and we've got to turn it into something active. We've got to turn it into something that is actually going to make a difference. And not, we can't confront anger with anger. We can't confront hate with more hate. You know, we've got to confront it and challenge ourselves as individually to get involved in really pushing for the change that we want to see. We don't want this to continue to happen.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out. You just landed in Charleston. I wish you and the National Action Network the best of luck down there. And if there's any way that 2LTV can help out while you guys are there, just shoot me an email or a text. And I just thank you again. I called you Spur of the Moment, and she was so willing to help, guys. You're amazing. And just thank you so much. As always, guys, this is Loren LoRosa for 2LTV. This is my first one-on-one vlog with you guys where I'm just chatting. I want you guys to definitely talk back. Like, this is a Speak Out series. I want you guys to speak about what it is that you feel when it comes to the Charleston massacre that just recently occurred, where 9 Black lives were taken due to the hate of African American people. I've expressed my thoughts. We have Miss Dominique Sharpton who weighed in on her thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts.
And the heart and soul of South Carolina was broken. And so we have some grieving too. And we've got some pain we have to go through.
The president noticeably shaken.
Any death of this sort is a tragedy. Any shooting involving multiple victims is a tragedy. There is something particularly heartbreaking about death happening in a place in which we seek solace, we seek peace, in a place of worship.
By mid-morning, authorities receive a tip from someone who thinks they recognize the shooter's car driving in Shelby, North Carolina, some 250 miles west of Charleston.
10:43 a.m., our officers observed the vehicle traveling west on Dixon Boulevard. The suspect was stopped by officers at 10:44 a.m. The officers identified the only occupant of the vehicle, Dylan Root. Mr. Root was taken into custody at 10:49 a.m. He was transported here to Shelby Police.
Chick is now in custody. The immediate threat to the community no longer exists, and we'll let the legal process run its course